Hey now, this is Story Dude, coming at you with some more stories. That's what I do. I'm here every day. I read, that's my creed. Someone please help me. Am I the a-hole for asking my parents for their entire estate if they want to be my sister's guardian? It seems a little presumptuous of you, OP. I am a 23-year-old female and have been told my entire life that if anything happens to my parents, I will be my sister's guardian. She is 33 and has some disabilities. She is currently living in a group home. The government pays a good portion of the costs, but not all. My parents have made sure that they have accessed every resource available for her to make sure she has as good of life as she can. We were visiting her there this last week when they brought it up again. Oh, Lord. They are both reasonably healthy, but they both had health scares in the last couple of years. They once again said that I would be her guardian. I have been giving this a fair bit of thought. I have two older brothers. They are both married and established in their careers. They would be better choices than I. I want to go see the world. I am lucky enough that my job can be done from anywhere that I can access the internet. When we went for dinner, I brought it up and said that I had 3 ideas. 1, they make all 3 of us guardians so we could split the responsibilities and duties. 2, that they leave their entire estate to my sister in a trust that will oversee her care. 3, that they leave me the entire estate with the proviso that I become her sole guardian and take full responsibility. Minus sentimental stuff for the rest of my family, obviously. I thought this was fair since it's not like they are rich and their estate will mostly consist of their house and the insurance policies they took out when they realized the long-term costs of care for my sister. They said that I'm trying to shirk my responsibility to my sister and that I'm greedy for trying to get everything. I had one last suggestion and they really hated it. I said that they were welcome to cut me out completely of their will, but that had to include guardianship of my sister. They could leave everything to her and my brothers, but that meant I would be completely free of responsibility for her care. My dad got really angry and my mom was crying when I left. My brothers both called me to say I was being an a-hole springing this on my parents. And that I was being greedy, trying to keep them and their families from getting anything when our parents pass away. I asked both of them if they wanted 100% responsibility for our sister in return for the entire estate. I volunteered to sign away everything to them. Neither one took me up on the offer. Well, yet another example of how the title pushes me one way and the story leads me to another point of view, because I don't know, I'm kind of siding on the OP on this one. I mean, as always, we don't know the full details, but to me it seems like they're just throwing all this responsibility on her and she doesn't want it, and that the other members of the family are given a choice and she has no choice. So I'm going to go with not the a-hole for the OP. Not the a-hole. I love how your brothers are mad because they're calling out the sexist BS. So your parents want you to put your entire life on hold to care for your sister with no actual benefit? Why would you do that? I mean, yes, it's not your sister's fault, but it's also not your fault. Split 3 ways is fine. Not the a-hole. So your brothers want 1/3 of the estate, but you do all the care because you're the female. Stand your ground. Yeah. I mean, that's my impression too. I mean, there could be more to the story, but it does seem like they just decided that you're the woman and you have to take care of her, which is pretty crappy. Not the a-hole. If your brothers think it's unfair for you to receive everything, they should be jumping at the opportunity to get everything. That's the sign of a really good deal. If someone would take it from you. Your parents are kind of a-holes for dumping all of this on a young woman. Not that you couldn't handle it, just that it's not fair when there are other family members that could help. You sound pretty grounded, though, and willing to advocate for yourself. I hope you have a great life. Good luck with the situation. Secret Jealous 4342. I appreciate your wholesome comment. You had 3 different suggestions. If they only focus on the last one, it's a them problem. Clearly, your parents and brothers want you to take all responsibility without asking for anything extra in return. If I were to guess why they're assuming you'll just put up with this, it's because you're a woman. Good for you that you're standing up for yourself and point out that there are multiple options for your sister's care, not the a-hole. Yeah, it's kind of mind-blowing that, you know, the title suggests that you just asked for the entire estate, but that's not what you did at all. You suggested several really good options, the last one being the option where you get the whole estate, and they focused on that. And it's sad. I'm sad for you, OP, but as this commenter pointed out, you're a grounded person, so I think you can handle it. Not the a-hole. Your last sentences say it all. They wouldn't do it even if they got the estate. Don't let them guilt you into doing more than any of them are willing to. Live your life. Am I the a-hole for asking my husband not to invite stepkids out with us? Okay, so it's my birthday in a week's time. My husband and I share one child together who is a toddler, and I have two older stepchildren who are in their mid-teens. My stepkids live with us half the week with alternating weekends. My husband tends to work the weekends that my stepkids aren't with us, and as I work in the week, it's quite rare that we do anything, me, him, and our child together. We do lots of family days out on the weekends when stepkids are with us. Anyway, this year he booked my birthday off work, which was a nice surprise, and has said we can do anything we want. It might sound a little bit odd, but honestly, I'd just really like to take our toddler somewhere a bit focused on them and have a day out, me, husband, and our toddler, as it's very rare that they get to do something focused on their age group with both of us and our full attention. I have a really good relationship with my stepchildren, but when we go out, we tend to ensure it's older kid focused as they get bored easily, and they are at an age now where they don't want to do anything considered lame/boring and will complain the whole time if so. They also struggle a lot with fighting between the two of them, so most days out are at least one or two fallouts. It's life with teens, that's fine. But anyway, on my birthday, I'd really like to just go out somewhere, the three of us, where we can focus on the little one and not have to worry about the older ones getting bored/arguing/wanting to go home, etc. And seeing as they weren't supposed to be with us this weekend anyway, I thought it would be a good opportunity to do that. Anyway, husband has now suggested he ask his ex if we can have older ones that day so they can come with us. I've said I'd rather not, to be honest, and it's now a big deal, and I'm apparently excluding and saying I don't like them. I have never have or would say that. Am I the a-hole for saying that on my birthday, a day where the older ones were never meant to be with us anyway, I'd prefer it if my husband didn't try and change plans to bring along the older ones, which means the focus of the day and what I wanted to do on my birthday will completely change. Edit to add, we are all going for a meal 2 days after my birthday, which is when the older ones will next be with us. I don't know, OP, it's a tough one. I think that everything you suggest is, I understand where you're coming from, and you're not being totally selfish because you really want to make sure that your younger child can actually enjoy the day. So it's really not just about you having your birthday. It's about making sure that you can go out and do like a fun kid thing with the toddler. On the other hand, in my opinion, there's no way that you can exclude the older kids without it reflecting poorly on you. So my advice would be to try to, or if these two stepkids are older, organize a separate activity for them. Like you can take them to something they want to do, whatever that is. I have no idea what teenagers like to do. Like go to an arcade if they still exist, drop them off at the movies. They can go to their friend's house. They can go to the pool, whatever they want to do. Drop them off and then go do whatever you want to do with your younger child for a couple hours and pick up the teens and, voila, everyone should be happy in theory at least. But that's my suggestion. Let's see what the community says. Honestly, I think you need to talk about how you feel about your husband working every weekend that the older kids aren't there. He does still have one kid that he is responsible for. If he didn't work every weekend they were away, I doubt you would even be in the position you are right now. It's a really good point, Jules. I totally missed that. I can barely understand a thing that I read when I'm reading out loud. So I'm glad to pick up on some of the details of the stories when I read the comments. But yeah, I missed that the husband he's kind of put you in this position because of his work. But then again, we don't choose our work. for many of us. Maybe unpopular, but I say not the a-hole. It's your birthday, and if you rarely do toddler-centric activities, I think it's fair that you get to do that. Your child also deserves one-on-one time with their father. If you try to exclude your stepkids all the time, that's a problem, but there's a big age gap between the kids. It makes sense that the little one should get some time doing kid stuff that will straight up be uninteresting for the kids. If it's a big deal, still can you compromise by doing something in the day with your toddler and then all going out to dinner at night? Totally reasonable. Not the a-hole. It sounds like you make a good effort with the stepkids and in fact have to watch your husband's children when he works, which is really crappy of him to do. It's not unreasonable for you to want to spend time with your child and your husband on your B-day, and he's a huge a-hole if he doesn't get it. Not the a-hole. Honestly, your life is set up so you never have the opportunity to have your husband and the child you share to yourself. It's only natural to want one day a year you can have that. P.S. I take my comments back if your husband has insisted that your baby should spend the day with his ex on her birthday. I think I get it. Not the a-hole. So you never do anything with the toddler because he works on the weekends when the older children are not there, and on the weekend when the older children are there, all the attention goes to them. The toddler is also entitled to outings appropriate to his age, and the right to attention from both parents. That has nothing to do with hating the older kids. All right, well, that wraps it up for today. We appreciate you joining us here on the Story Dude channel. Wishing all of you a great day, and remember to be good to each other. Take care.